folks, my name is Outtro, and today the blog post is here. The blog post that specifically Valve said that they were going to release before the update. So we are going to look at these blog posts and see what changes that they're going to show us. In the past we made blog posts about changes we already shipped and stuff we've tossed onto the smouldering scrap heap of failed ideas. Well, that is true. This time, based on your feedback, we're going to talk about changes while we're still working on them. Below is a sneak peek of some of the changes coming in the next major update, along with some community commentary. These changes are based on the online community discussions and emails, playtime date conversations, and so on and so forth. Things to keep in mind. This is not a complete list of changes. Some items and classes are still being worked on and are not ready for review. We'll go in a little deep on some classes this time, etc. Scout, and not as deep on others, etc. Demo Man. This is a work in progress. Items may change prior to the release. Please continue to send us feedback through the contact form or right taskbar under Contact Us. Hearing from you helps us provide our work information during the game. So they did say they would do a blog post before they release the update. They haven't abandoned it, it's happening. So, let's have a look. Multi-classes, Panic Attack. Okay, they're doing something about the Panic Attack. This is one of our least used weapons. The main culprit seems to be the unique display fire aspect, which fights against the basic combat of the secondary slot on classes that can use the weapon Soldier, Heavy, Engineer, Pyro. Players generally expect a secondary that is immediately ready to fire, for rare cases where their main weapon isn't available, etc. out of ammo, or isn't originally changed, etc. airborne to close. Removing the quality and delay firing, etc. basically individual and original design, so it started over. So basically they're restarting the weapon now. They're going to have a new design. The old, what it is now is just not working, which I never used the Panic Attack really. Goal, make the weapon immediately usable, remove the large burst per tap penalty, generally hard to balance. So they have admitted it is hard to balance. And individually the original design, so we're started over. Alright, whoop. I actually read the top bit, not the summary. Hard balance to give us weapon unique design space. So, new design. 50% faster switch speed, 50% more pellet, 30% less damage, fires a wide, fixed short punishing regardless of server settings. Shot parrots grow with success shots, etc. while holding down the attack, but resets after you stop firing and reload. Interesting. Ooh. Got a couple of things with a spy. Ambassador. Players that are headshot from across the map are expected to see a sniper in their death cam, but they sometimes see more often than what we like a spy with a revolver. Goal, reduce the effective combat range to something more responsible and expected with a spy. With the spy. Changes. Fire shots are no longer projectile cost. Bullet spread is instead reduced by 50%. This makes the headshots less reliable at long range, but still very valuable at close and mid-range. So basically preventing spies from being snipers and shooting people across the map and getting headshots. Reasonable as enough as it is, and possibly a good change, but it could differ. Dead Ringer. Another change of the Dead Ringer. The last one was that major buff it had, or rework. Faint Death is an interesting effect, but a good spy can use it immediately, figuring making its feature to play against the reducing of risk of using it nearly constantly. Goal, rather than make it less interesting, let's make it more... No, someone trying to add me. Alright. Make it less interesting. Yeah. Fight against by moving methods, by which spies can reduce its cooldown. This should create more rhythm fighting against spies using this, and introduce a little more risk to players using it. Changes. Ammo kits and dispensers no longer refill the spy's coke meter. That is interesting. Your eternal reward. Now this is an interesting change. They haven't touched this. This is the least used spy knife. Technically the reskin is, but anyway. While Silent Kill and Reaped disguises on Kill are good, the downside of this knife is extreme. Changes. Removed. Cannot disguise penalty. Added non-kill disguises require and consume a full cloak meter. Backstabs are still free. Instead, cloak duration rate by 50%. That is interesting for a change. Scalped Sandman. Okay, another weapon I never thought to see. Feedback on this weapon has been fairly consistent for a while. Players really hate losing the ability to fire back. Complaining to this, that the ball has the travel reality far in the order than distant players. Being hit by a long range ball, or often not, ends up feeling random rather than skill. Changes. Long range ball impacts no longer remove the victim's ability to fire their weapons, but the victim is still slowed. We've updated the achievements that were looking for disarmed players. Max range balls now do a 50% increased damage from base of 15. Fight time required to trigger a max effect has been reduced by 20%, but regeneration time is reduced to 10 seconds from 15. So it's a bit of a nerf, but mostly a buff. Bonk Atomic Punch, another weapon that normally has never been touched, and they're touching this. This weapon was designed to allow scouts to pass contested areas. While it does this quite well, it doesn't require enough skill or carry much of a downside. Ooh, changes. Apply a slow effect to the player after Fissioning wears off based on the amount of damage they absorbed, from minus 20% at slow damage to 60 or plus 200 last 5 seconds. It's quite a bit nasty, but it is a bit fair really. It doesn't have any downsides. You just basically use it and you can just keep using it and you're immune to all sorts of stuff. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. This is a weapon that really needed a change and something it really needed. This weapon is one of the lowest owned equipped items in the game. Looking at its current design, it seems like not taking 4 damage ranks pretty low on the value scale for the Scout. A flat 20% damage taken penalty is basically a kiss of death for a low health class. So even the TF team understand that the stats for this weapon are complete BS. Basically, it's crap. Goal. Make the weapon less a liability and focus it as a get health quick tool with a decent bust, or whatever really, an expectation of the total damage. New design, 50% firing speed up to 7 HP per hit from 5. Clip size, 25%, so they remove the damage penalty and the fall resistance, I presume? But instead of getting 5 health per hit, you get 7, fire rate's improved, and you don't have that nasty damage penalty, but you have less shots. You know what? I'm happy with that. That should redeem the weapon. Critical, already getting 8 minutes. The last changes of this item added the mark for death when the effect ended. This was okay because it forced scouts to get out after a little while, but didn't add any risk in the moment. Goal, add a more distinct thought on when and where to activate, how to manage the risk and reward. Changes. Each attack will activate adds marked for death debuff for 5 seconds, does not stack. Marked for death when effective exploit. Removed 25% of movement speed bonus. Removed plus 10% damage taken penalty. Okay, a little bit better. Jeez, a lot of changes for Scout. The Animizer. Triple jump as a passive effect is just too strong. It makes combat against scouts competitive because you don't see a bat, therefore haven't had hard time to apparently the scouts compatibility until late in an section. It also makes Scout very strong against explosive classes due to the combination of extra mobility on high class range damage. So basically using the bat, you get the third jump, you lose a bit of health, and then you use crit bot. Well, you know the shotgun that gives you the extra jumps. I can't remember the name, but you probably know what I mean. Changes. Triple jump is now only available passively when the bat is deployed. Alright, fair enough. Remove self-inflict damage when triple jump. Remove attack speed penalty. Added a melee attack stun while airborne mini crit. Added a 50% delay notification out of all the times. Penalty quick switch on the bypass. Reduce damage penalty versus players to 15 from 20. Okay, so a nice little buff for it. Flying Guillotine. Now, I never thought of this. Flying Guillotine. This weapon is completely a high burst damage under what sometimes seems like a random conditions. It does has mini crits at long range and full crits when that target is slowed or stunned by etc. Ghost Boo effect. Natasha, etc. Goal. Remove the feeling of roundedness and reward accuracy. Removed crits versus stun players. Removed mini crits at long range. Added a long range hits reduced range by 1.5 seconds. Duration conditions on long range reduced by half the previous value when determination. Okay, I don't know if this is more of a nerf or a buff, but fair enough, I suppose. What do we have? Soldier, sniper, medic, heavy, engineer. So we're up to, jeez, soldier. Not a lot, but Scout's got the main ones. Base jumper. Players often complain that the base jumper is a forsaken to fight against because the target is simply too hard to hit. This is mostly due to the combination of being able to deploy, return at will, and the amount of steering control they have, which makes it them too unpredictable. Changes. Reduce the amount of air control while deployed by 50%. Remove the ability to redeploy parachutes until the player lands on the ground again. Right, fair enough. Man treads. Yet again, another weapon that never get uses except for the rocket jump soldier. Second and last used item in the game, the air stomp mini game is deployed. The gunboats are superior in most secure senses. Changes. Plus 75 push force reduced now includes air blast. Added a 200 air control when blast jumping. That is interesting. I don't know if that will redeem it, but that could help the weapon out. Sniper. Darwin's Danger Shield. Snipers using this item had an advantage against snipers who weren't, as a result of players feel like they were required to equip this item in order to be competitive. Goal. Remove the increase survivability against enemy snipers, which involved the extra distance. So, counter range burn attacks, there are flares, and strength melee fights versus pyros. Afterburn immunity, fire resistance. Okay, so pyros be less of a threat. That would be good. Razorback. Goal. Reduce the effectiveness of a pocket.